Hi, this is Cheryl from Peace and Power Movement Services. And, this month I've been doing my own kind of personal crusade about better winter safety and walking, but no more penguin walking. It's a really common approach to advice that people give to walk safely. And I've been, feeding out information all month about what I think is a better option for people. But I wanted to share a personal story. I live in Canada, in an area where we get plenty of winter. The last several weeks we've had -30 and then above zero and melting, and then ice rains overnight and blizzards and horizontal, snow and drifting. So the sidewalks are just crazy, and it makes it really hard to commit to an ongoing walking practice. So one day I set out, I'm conscious that there's like this high, bright sheen across everything because of an ice rain overnight. I've got my cleats on, and, I run through in my head all the kinds of advice I give to people around how to walk safely in the winter. And so it's things like keeping a narrow stance, leaving weight in your back heel a little bit longer as you step so that you've got more downforce and connection with the ground rather than pushing back when the force of friction on slippery ice is less and doesn't support your walking. And, things like keeping a suppleness in my hip and my knees so I'm more likely to bend rather than brace. And so I'm, walking, I get to the end of my block. And to get across the road, the ice has built up, like there's sort of this arch where it peaks at the middle and then comes down again towards the gutter. And of course, I get up to the top of this arch and my front foot slips out from under me. And so, with all of my personal Feldenkrais practice, what I'm finding now, like when I fall, because I do walk outside and so I do lose my balance, it feels like I go into this slow down video mode. Like there's space in my mind to notice and even kind of commentate on what's going on in the process of the fall. So literally I'm like, look, there she goes. My front foot is going, it's going, gone. The ground's coming up to meet me. I feel my head moving backward. And, my arms are going outward. It's like my personal slow-mo falling video in 3D. Except I didn't fall. My butt went back. I ended up in a kind of one-legged squat, kind of like we've got the Olympics on right now. So, how skaters go down and put one leg out and spin around. It was that kind of motion. So unexpected and deeper than I would choose to squat, and not something I could really do that easily voluntarily, but it was something that was possible to go into, and then I was able to stand back up and recover my balance and just go on with my walk. And so it really is one of the reasons why I'm grateful for my personal practice. It saved me from injury more than once when I've fallen. So when I slipped on the ice, there's no time to make a plan. I'm just falling. But this is what this kind of learning that happens when you do this slow, mindful movement study. It changes your neurological system, including your personal reflexes. And so, again, if you ask me to do a one-legged squat, I can't really do that very easily, but I can do it. But it was an option available to me at a time when I could really use it. And so I find that this changes things for me generally in my life. When I have this kind of slipping on ice experience, I know I have inner resources that can help me out when I need it. So it doesn't mean I won't ever fall. I actually fall a fair bit, but it does mean that my falls are less likely to seriously and negatively impact me. And so a couple weeks ago, before my vitamin MM mindful movement class, one of my clients, asked about a movement. We had been studying ways that our pelvis could move when we go from standing to sitting to the ground and back again. And of course, she had fallen last winter, slipped straight backward, and she actually cracked one of her ribs. But, I love her spirit. She's determined to keep walking, but wants to know how to prevent it happening again. And so I shared with her this movement that really helps you lower yourself to the ground as you fall in this way with your foot sliding out in front of you. It's simply a way to make a smaller fall and reduce the likelihood that that fall would be difficult for you. So if this kind of movement study interests you, and I'm going to demonstrate it for you pretty quick here, check out my Vitamin MM class. It's a place where we explore movement study in a way that creates better personal reflexes and helps you to do more functional movement, at the times when you really need it. And so I'm going to get my little cat Abby here to get out of the way. But this slipping forward piece, you can support, and I'm going to get her to move a little more out of the way so she doesn't bolt, that you can just lower yourself and go down. So it's this kind of that lets you fall, lets you slip, but without a serious consequence. So again, I've got, so much flexibility to go down, but I can let that slip be a lower that I don't mind getting up from. So take good care of yourself, and I'd love to see you at an upcoming class.